朋友们，大家好，我是太阳老师。Hello everyone, I'm teacher Taiyang. In this lesson, we'll continue our study of Elementary Chinese Reader 2, lesson 24. Before we move on to lesson 24, let's have a quick recall of what we did in lesson 23. In lesson 23, we studied about how to make past tense sentences using the aspectual particle le. In this lesson, we further the study of aspectual particle le. Let us have a look at this first sentence in the box. 我买了三本书. I bought 3 books. Remember, whenever a verb takes an object, it has to be quantified with a numeral measure word. So, if I bought 3 books, the books have to be quantified by a measure word and le is placed immediately after the verb. 我买了三本书. Have a look at the second sentence. 我们吃了饭就简称. Whenever there are more than one action in a sentence or more than 2 verbs, the first verb is followed by le and second verb is introduced by using adverb 就. 我们吃了饭就简称. We ate food, then went to the city. 就 means then. Moving on to the third sentence. 我们2点出发. We started at 2 o'clock. 3点才到. 3点 3 o'clock. 才 only then. 到 to arrived. We started at 2 o'clock and only by 3 o'clock arrived. Have a look at these two adverbs, 就 and 才. 就 is an adverb which is used whenever an event happens in its normal course without any disruption. So, we started at 2 and reached at 2:30. This is an event that happens in normal course. So, we use something happened, then something happened. He arrived, then we went to watch the movie. This is an event happening in normal course. So we use 就 for this. However, if something is not happening in normal course, it is being disrupted or happening later than usual, then we use the adverb 才. He arrived, only then we went to watch movie. He arrived, we went to watch movie, and he arrived, only then we went to watch the movie. In the first sentence, we use 就, and in the second sentence, we use 才. Looking at this sentence, we started at 2 o'clock and were able to reach only by 3 o'clock. This is an event which is not happening in its usual course of time. So 1 hour is too long to reach this place. We started at 2 and were only able to reach by 3. If this event had been happening in normal course, we would have said we started at 2 and reached at 3. But the usage of sai in this sentence indicate that it took longer than usual to cover this distance. 我们2点出发, 3点才到. We started at 2 and only by 3 were we able to reach. So in this lesson, we are going to read 3 grammar points. First, usage of le as an aspectual particle in a bit more detail. Adverbs 就, first, used to introduce the second verb in a sentence, and the difference between adverbs 就 and才as adverbs denoting an event happening in normal course of time without any disruption, and才as an adverb indicating an event that is happening later than usual or with some difficulty. Let us now move on to the substitution drills. 你买什么了? What did you bought? 我买书了. I bought books. 你买了几本书? How many books did you bought? 我买了3本书. I bought 3 books. Notice in the first sentence, le is placed after books. 我买书了, I bought books. However, when books are quantified, I bought 3 books, then le is placed after the verb 买. 我买了3本书, I bought 3 books. As an aspectual particle, le is placed after the verb to denote a past tense action. Let us now replace or substitute the words and the measure word book and its measure word. So pan is the measure word for books and shoe is book. Looking at the words in the box at the right hand side and replacing this with this sentence, let's have a look at the words. 班子 notebook. 个 is the measure word for notebooks. So how many notebooks? What did you bought? I bought notebooks. How many notebooks did you bought? I bought 3 notebooks. 三个班子. Moving on to the next substitution. 画片张. 画片 is a picture. 张 is the measure word. 衣服件. 衣服 clothes. 件 measure words. 你买什么了? 我买衣服了. 你买了几件衣服? 我买了3件衣服. I bought 啤酒 pink. 啤酒 is beer. Pink bottle. 苹果 apple. Tin. Tin is a measure of weight. 苹果 apple and chin measure of weight. So replace these words in the sentences. How many apples did you bought? I bought 3 chin apple. Moving on to the next sentence. 昨天你们参观了什么地方? 昨天 yesterday. 参观 visit. 什么地方 what place? Yesterday you visited what place? 昨天我们参观了一个工厂. Gongchang is a factory. Yesterday we visited a factory. Remember, there could be more than one factory, there could be 3 factories, 4 factories. However, if there is only yesterday we visited factory, then le could also be placed after factory. Looking at the words in the box to replace. 学校 school. 医院 hospital. 博物馆 museum. Let us replace 博物馆 in this sentence. 昨天你们参观了什么地方? 昨天我们参观了一个博物馆. Yesterday we visited a museum. Moving on to the third sentence. 你们看了展览去哪了? Notice the verbs and object in this sentence. The first verb is 看. 展览 exhibition, that is the object. The second verb is 去 to go. After watching the exhibition, where did you went? 你们看了展览去哪了? Where did you went after watching the exhibition? 我们看了展览就回学校了. Notice the second verb is introduced using 就 then. 我们看了展览 we watched the exhibition. Then 回 to return. 学校 school. 了 after watching the exhibition, we returned to the school. Remember, to is used to introduce the second verb in a sentence. If a sentence has more than one action, more than one verb, then second verb is introduced using to. Let's now look at the box to replace the words, the verbs and the object. Let's have a look at these words. 看电影回家 看 to watch 电影 movie 回家 returned home. Where did you went after watching the movie? After watching the movie, we returned home. 买东西回宿舍 买 to buy 东西 things 回宿舍 return to the dormitory. After buying things, where did you went? After buying things, we return to the dormitory. Replace these three words in the above sentences. 吃饭上街 吃 to eat, that is a verb. 饭 food, that is the first object. 上街 is shopping. 街 is street. 上街 literally means up on the street, going on the street for shopping. After eating food, where did you went? After eating food, we went to do shopping. Moving on to the next substitution drill. 下课小卖部下课 is after the class. 小卖部 the small souvenir store. So where did we went after the class? We went to the small souvenir store. 去小卖部 Moving on to the next sentence. 明天你吃了早饭去哪儿？明天 tomorrow. 你 you 吃了饭 after eating food. 去哪儿 go where. Tomorrow after eating food, where will you go? 明天我吃了早饭就去公园。Tomorrow after eating breakfast, I will go to the park. Let's now look at the box to see the replacement drills. 买东西去展览馆 买 to buy 东西 things 去展览馆 go to the exhibition. 明天 tomorrow. Tomorrow after eating breakfast, where will you go? Tomorrow after eating breakfast, I will go to the exhibition. 看球赛去商店 Replacing these words in the sentence. Tomorrow after watching the ball game, where will you go? Tomorrow after watching the ball game, I will go to the shop. 去商店下课去电影院下课 Tomorrow after the class, where would you go? Tomorrow after the class, I will then go to movie institute 电影院 Notice the usage of 去 to introduce the second verb in the sentence. Moving on to the next substitution. 参观展览回学校参观 is to participate. 展览 exhibition 回学校 So tomorrow after visiting the exhibition, what would you do? Or where would you go? Tomorrow after visiting or after taking part in the exhibition, I would return to the school. Moving on to the fourth substitution drill, let's have a look at the dialogue. 展览馆不远 The exhibition hall is not far. 我们2点出发2点一刻就到了 The exhibition hall is not far. We started at 2 o'clock. 2点出发 Started at 2 o'clock. 2点一刻 is 1 quarter at 2:50. 就 then 到了 arrived. The exhibition hall is not far. We started at 2 and arrived at 2:15. This is an event that is happening in normal course without any disruption. So we have used 就 in this case. Let's have a look at the box to replace various words. 哪个工厂? That factory. 哪个工厂? That factory is not far. We started at this time and reached at this time. 哪个工厂不远? That factory is not far. 我们8点出发. We started at 8 o'clock. 8点20就到了. At 8:20 we arrived. 体育馆, the physical education room. 8点半 8:30. 8点50 8:50. The physical education room is not far. We started at 8:30 and arrived at 8:50. We are using chu because there is no disruption. The event is happening in normal routine, normal course of time without any delay or disruption than usual. Moving on to the next substitution. 人民主唱. 主唱 is theatre. 人民 is people. People's theatre or people's opera. 人民主唱不远. 我们7点40出发. We started at 6:40. 7点就到了, arrived at 7 o'clock. The People's Theatre is not far. People's Opera is not far. We started at 6:40 and arrived at 7 o'clock. 清华大学, Tsinghua University. 清华大学不远. 我们2点半出发. We started at 2:30. 2点3刻就到了, arrived at 2 3/4 or 2:45. Tsinghua大学 is not far. We started at 2:30 and arrived at 2:45. Moving on to the next substitution drill. 展览馆很远. The exhibition hall. 很远, very far. The exhibition hall is very far. 我们2点出发. We started at 2 o'clock. 3点才到了. Only arrived by 3 o'clock. The exhibition hall is very far. We started at 2 o'clock and only by 3 o'clock were we able to reach. Notice the difference between chu in the previous sentence and sai in this sentence, where sai is used to denote an event that is happening late than expected or later than usual or with some difficulty. We started at 2 and were only able to reach by 3. Had it been in normal course, that would have been we started at 2 and reached by 3 o'clock. Let us now have a look at words in the box to replace. 友谊商店. 友谊 is friendship. 商店 is shop, a friendship shop or a friendship store. 1点 1 o'clock. 2点1刻 2 1/4 or 2:15. 工人体育场. 工人 is workers. 体育场 is sports ground. The workers' sports ground. The workers' sports ground is very far. 6点 6 o'clock. 7点吃饭 7:10. The workers' playground is very far. We started at 6 and were only able to reach by 7:10. 大使馆 embassy. 大使馆很远. The embassy is very far. 8点半 8:30. 9点半 9:30. The embassy is very far. We started at 8:30 and were only able to reach by 9:30. 天坛公园. 天坛公园, this is the name of a park. 8点 8 o'clock. 9点1刻 9:15. 天坛公园, Tiantan Park is very far. We started at 8 and were only able to reach by 9:15. These were the substitution drills. Let us now move on to the text of this chapter. 看展览, watch an exhibition. 展览, exhibition. 看, to see an exhibition. 昨天下午 我们去餐馆了。昨天 yesterday 下午 in the evening yesterday evening 散馆 visit yesterday evening we went for a visit 我们看了一个展览 we watched an exhibition 展览馆离学校不太远离 from 展览馆 the exhibition hall from the school 不太远 not very far the exhibition hall from the school is not very far 我们2点出发 we started at 2 o'clock 2点20就到了 we started at 2 and arrived at 2:20到了展览馆到了 arriving 展览馆 exhibition hall on arriving the exhibition hall 我们去 we then 开始 to start 散馆 visit on arriving at the exhibition hall we then started our visit 展览馆的工作人员很热情展览馆 exhibition 工作人员 the personnel or employees 很热情 is cordial the employees at the exhibition hall were very cordial 他们给我们介绍了很多情况给 to give 介绍 introduce 情况 situations they introduced us to many situations 我们一共看了6个展览馆一共 is altogether 看了 watched 6 展览 we watched in total or in all we watched 6 exhibitions 我们提了一些问题 we asked or put forward 提 is to put forward 一些 some 问题 questions we put forward some questions 讲解员 the guide 都回答了都 no exception 回答 to answer 了 past tense mark we asked some questions and the guides answered all of them 展览馆旁边有一个小卖部旁边 is side on any side 小卖部 is a small souvenir store on the side of the exhibition hall there is a small souvenir shop 我们在那儿买了在那儿 from that place from there 买了 bought 我们在那儿买了一些 some 画片 pictures 和 and 别的 other 纪念品 souvenirs 纪念品 we from there from the shop that was at the side of exhibition hall bought some pictures and some other souvenirs 5点半 at 5:30我们就 we only then 回学校 return to school only at 5:30 we return to school 我觉得这个展览很有意思 I feel 觉得 is to feel 这个展览 this exhibition 很有意思 very interesting I feel this exhibition is very interesting 看了展览我们了解了不少情况看了 on watching 展览 exhibition 我们 we 了解了 understood 不少 not less or many 情况 situations on watching the exhibitions we understood a lot of situations this was lesson 24 from elementary Chinese reader 2 where we studied about the aspectual particle le when it takes an object and quantified with a numeral measure word, the usage of adverb chu and sai